Okay, hello everybody. We are officially starting our group chat today. And today I kind of have a presentation, well, kind of a presentation or like a layout of what we're going to do for negotiating. A lot of members have been asking me some really good ways to overcome objections. So we just, right before the group chat, came up with an entire list of objections to help overcome ones that we commonly get from objections that like we can't do anything about, such as getting a driver's license, the phone is stolen or something like that, to objections we can do something about where they want more than it's worth and things of that nature. So without further ado, I'll show the list here. If you're watching the replay, if you're live, you guys just saw this, but here's some of the objections that we're going to be covering today. But before we get into objections, I want to teach you guys a little bit about kind of this negotiation strategy. So negotiation isn't just all about overcoming objections, right? So, for example, right? Okay, well, first I'll go over these 5 elements. I'm going to break this down. Now, guys, bear with me because this is kind of, I haven't taught this way before. So I'm going to try to teach it the easiest way I can and the best way for you. But again, I'm all human. So if I ramble or make mistakes, please just keep me on track, keep me focused. And I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible for you guys to understand, okay? And everything I say, guys, is all coming from my personal experience, okay? So some of this stuff, it's possible it could be done better. There could be an easier way. There could be another way. I'm just going to teach you what I know based on my experience, and we're doing about $35,000 a month right now, and 7 years in business, how I would handle these personal situations. All right, you guys ready? Okay. So first thing, the 5 elements to effectively negotiating more deals. So I find that there's 5 things other than just words that will help a member or one of my employees close a lot more deals, and that's these 5 things: your appraisal or your offer, how fast you respond to the leads, the type of rapport you maintain with the person that you're talking to, how much you can keep that person engaged while you're talking to them, and how much you can get them to respond back to you, and how you can lead them into the sale. Number 5, how you interact with the person to find out what's really stopping them from selling their item. What is that? Let's say there's a piece of the puzzle missing, right? Like, what is that piece of the puzzle that we can find and put it together and make a deal happen? And with everybody, their puzzle pieces could be a little different, okay? So these 5 things are extremely important. And if you notice, there's nothing about overcoming objections with any of these things, okay? So everybody, really quick, right, in the chat, tell me if you were on, let's say, who's bought a new car here? Give me a yes if you've ever bought maybe a used car at a dealership, or you ever bought a new car. Anybody going through that experience? Or been on a car lot, let's just say, right? If it says yes, 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 there's a few people here. By the way, guys, if you're new or if you're old, please try to participate as much as possible. I've noticed, guys, the group chats where the people participate the most, and even if you're watching the replay, just say yes out loud or something if you have to, because the people who participate the most usually get the best results. And it also gives me the most feedback for you. So when I get feedback, I'm able to feed off that and help you guys the most, all right? So everybody's saying yes. So let's say if you walked into that car dealership, right? And the guy walks up to you, let's say, you know, most car dealerships, people look nice, they have suits, you know, they look clean cut, professional. But this guy, he walks up to you, his shirt is like kind of like untucked and it's hanging over his pants. His tie's off to the side. He looks like his suit is from like 1970. And he's like, hey, how you doing today? How you doing today? Can we get you a car? Can we get you a car? And he's kind of really high pressure to you. How's that make you feel the minute you get onto that lot? Right? Or how about this? The guy, you're walking on the lot and the guy says, hi, welcome to Joe Schmo's car sales. Can I help you? And you're like, well, no, I kind of want to just look at a car. Oh, let me show you this beauty right here. See this car? This is a great car. And he doesn't even ask you any questions on what you want. He just takes you right from the car and he tries to shove a car in your face. Does anybody want to buy a car from that guy? Probably not, right? Everybody's saying, I'll leave. No way. Okay. The person who gets the deal is the guy who's dressed as a gentleman. He looks professional. He's maintained. He's composed, and he says, "Hi, welcome to High Class Motors. Thank you for coming in today. How are you guys doing? Oh, we're doing great. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Is there anything I do to help or serve you guys at the moment? Would you like a coffee? Would you like a water? Is there anything I can get you?" And you're like, you know, I could use a water actually. Okay, great. I'll be right back. You guys, look, feel free. Touch the cars. do whatever you want, look around, wander, the whole place is yours. I'm going to go get you guys a water. I'll be back in a little bit. You guys take your time, no rush at all, right? Guy lets you look around at the cars. He goes get you a water, right? And then he gives you the waters. He's like, here you go, guys. How's everything going? Is there any questions I can answer for you or anything like that? You want me to get out of your hair so you guys can just look, or would you rather, is there anything you want to take for a ride or anything like that? And you're like, well, you know what? Actually, I kind of like this car over here. Okay, cool. Did you have any questions on it? I'd be happy to answer them. Who wants to deal with a salesperson like that? Would you guys rather deal with the first guy or the second guy? Jesus says, hell yeah. Luke says, second guy, 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 second guy. Absolutely, right? Okay. And if in case you didn't say second guy, I can promise you the second guy is closing a lot more deals than the first guy. 100%, right? I've worked in car dealerships before, and I actually was trained by Herb Chambers, who's actually a billionaire in the car dealership. So I've some of the way I've gotten my sales chops actually was from Herb Chambers. I don't know if you guys have ever know who Herb is or anything like that. I used to go to Saturday meetings with him. Anyways, we're not selling cars here. I want to get back on track, but I want you guys to understand, if with the first guy, no matter what you said, you can give that guy a million objections. He's not going to overcome them, right? You're gonna actually give the first guy all kinds of BS objections just because you don't want to say like, dude, you're a rude jerk and you look like a slob and I don't want to buy. Very few people are actually going to say that to you, right? So they'll just say, no, thank you. I got to talk to my husband. I got to think about it. I'm going to shop around. I think I'm just looking. I'm all set. Those are the type of things we say to people like that. Would you guys agree? Give me a one, and if you think that those are type of things how you would handle like a high pressure salesperson in an environment like that, right? Would you tell them like you're a flat out like you're a real jerk guy, I don't want to deal with you? Most people are really nice. They're not going to say that, right? But they are going to come up with some kind of lousy excuse. So if you're getting a lot of kind of lousy excuses, or like you're kind of like, you're getting like, I got to talk to my spouse, I got to think about it. They're really not solid objections. They're not giving you really any information. Find out, like, look at yourself or look at your text and see, am I pressuring? How do I sound? Am I being friendly when I answer the phone call? Am I being nice? Am I being professional? Because that right there could generate more objections for you. So one of the things that I've noticed, like when I'm at a boot camp, now, like some of our members here that have done 30, 40,000 a month, they've seen me live in my store negotiate with customers. And one of the common things that I usually hear from members is like, Dave, you got an easy one. We want to see you deal with a hard one, right? But for me, they're usually all easy. And the reason why, guys, is because if you've seen me in action, that's how I usually act towards my customers that come in the stores. I act like the high-class motor guy. I welcome them. I'm friendly. I'm nice. I don't pressure them. I talk to them, right? Whereas the first person gets a lot of objections because they're trying hard, pushing, right? So can everybody understand this mentality here, how your attitude in these elements, they make a difference to the deal rather than just what you say? Is everybody on the same page with me? Like, you guys see this? Is anybody seeing where they could have gone wrong at all as I'm speaking? It's okay. We've all done this. I've been the used car sales guy before, right? We all slip. We all have our emotions. We all do these things. Perfectly okay. But what we want to do is we just want to try to focus to be more like the high-class motor guy. All right. So next, the other things, though, is even if you are kind of like the high-class motor guy, you're professional, you're friendly, that's building rapport and emotional control. We also need to make sure that the offer is right. So, for example, let's say you're dealing with Mr. High Class Motors, and you're like, here's a car that I really am interested in. Can we take a test drive? And Mr. High Class Motor gets you in the car. He's very friendly. He's nice to your kids. He opens the door for you. He's wonderful. You guys have a great test drive. You love the car. I mean, you just want to buy this car right now. You're so excited. But then he takes you to the dealership, and he says, okay, this car is $40,000. Now, we're talking, let's say, a four-door sedan. It's kind of basic. It isn't anything crazy. And you're like, whoa, $40,000. Holy crap. Can you do any better on that car for me? And he's like, nope, that's it, $40,000. Take it or leave it. What's going to happen then? Despite how nice that guy is, are you going to buy that car from that guy? Probably not, right? So, again, despite how nice we are, we can still lose it if the offer isn't right. So this is one of the most common things that I see when a lot of people ask me to critique their texts or I look over my employees' messages, this is probably one of the #1 things is the appraisal or the offer is off. So either they appraised too low or they're lowballing the person too much at first, and then that's kind of insulting that person. So they had a good interaction, and all of a sudden that lowball kind of like turned them off. So let's first really quick, before we go into any more negotiation, let's see how everybody's doing on their appraisals. And is everybody cool with doing a quick appraisal drill? Let me know if you guys are okay with doing an appraisal drill. And let's just do this to make sure everybody's on the same page with their appraisals before we continue. Sound good? Okay. So I'd like one of you guys, let's do it really kind of, fairly quickly so that we can keep moving on to this good stuff here. Give me something you guys want to praise. Let's do anything, right? Because we can always get anything being offered to us. So let's pick something that's even a little bit hard, maybe. What do you guys got? You guys give me something that you're trying to appraise right now. Jeff Hitt says an iPhone 7 Plus cracked. Okay, that one's pretty easy, but we'll go ahead and do that one. And then maybe we'll do one more really, really hard one, okay? Let's do iPhone 7 Plus cracked. And guys, remember, what carrier is it for? Very important. So, Jeff, what carrier is that for the iPhone 7 Plus cracked? He says it's easy, but I keep messing it up somehow. T-Mobile. Okay, so everybody give me, do an iPhone 7, was it a 7 Plus or a 7? I'm sorry, I got to look back at this. iPhone 7, just an iPhone 7, cracked screen, T-Mobile. iPhone 7, cracked screen, T-Mobile. And type in the chat how much you're going to sell it for on eBay and then how much you're going to pay for it. What would your offer be? Let's see what you guys say, okay? Now, remember, guys, one of the things when you were negotiating, making your offer or your appraisal in 30 seconds or less will help you get 50% more deals. So remember, response time was one of those negotiation things. So the faster we can get it appraising, the more deals that we're going to get. Now, don't feel bad if you're probably not going to be at 30 seconds. Okay, so if you're less than 2 months in the course, more than likely you're not at 30-second appraisal. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're slow. You're not making good progress. That's not the case. It just takes some practice. Okay, so don't feel bad. But that's why we're doing this right now. So let's see. We said Sam says sell 150, buy for 70. Kevin says offer 50 or 60, sell for 130. Joe says sell for 120. Offer 60. Eric says offer 115, sell for 230. Okay, so let's see what everybody says. Let's take a look here and see what it's actually going to sell for. All right. So we have iPhone 7, T-Mobile. Now, when everybody did this, did you guys type in bad ESN? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do iPhone 7, cracked T-Mobile, bad ESN. So let's take a look. So now when we're appraising here, let me see what I'm going to appraise it at, and then we'll walk through it. So we have iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 7 Plus. Okay, iPhone 7 here, cracked works, $134.95. Okay, that's an apples to apples one. We have cracked, bad ESN, T-Mobile, iPhone 7. We're going to do that, $134.95. Let's take a look here. iPhone 7 Plus, we're not going to use that. We have iPhone 7, cracked, bad ESN, $119.99. Okay, I'm going to use that one. The only thing is, actually, I'm not going to use this, and I'll tell you why. Right? Because see these little black dots here? So that's called a cracked LCD. Someone said he said 7 Plus. Oh, I said just iPhone 7. iPhone 7 cracked T-Mobile is what it was. Was everybody appraising iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 Plus? Because when I looked at the message, I thought it was iPhone 7. Was 7 Plus. Okay. I thought I said iPhone 7. All right, let's pick a new one. Well, anyways, let's just do an iPhone 7 and a 7 Plus. How about that? Does that work for you guys? Let's do an iPhone 7 Plus and an iPhone 7. All right, so iPhone 7 Plus, if you want to do a 7 Plus, we have 189, 189. There's two right there for 189. And we have 229, 229. Okay, but now when we're appraising, just keep this in mind. So this is February 1st, so that's 18 days old. So be careful with that, right? Because look at the market, guys. Anybody notice the iPhone 7 market dipped really fast? So 7 Plus, 189, 189. I'm going to probably go more towards these on the appraisal. So I would probably appraise that at 189.95, and I would offer $90. I would start at 90, and then I would go up to 100. Okay, so if you said, let me see who got that right, because there's so many messages I can't look them up. I'm sorry. Who for that 7+? Who said between 90 to 100? Jamie says I was 1 cent off. You did good. So if you said 95, you said 100, you said 90, you did pretty good. Okay, and if you appraised it at 189, 190, 195, you did pretty decent. Okay, I would say if you appraised it at 200 or over, you're a little off, and I'll tell you why. Because again, the market shifts. So this is where it gets a little more advanced, right? Is where I'm actually looking at the date it sold. Now, some of you guys might not have done this, and you're new, so you didn't expect this. But see, because these are 229, February 1st and 5th, and there's such a big drop between those and these, and there's 3 weeks, I've got to take that into consideration a little bit. And that's why I'm going to appraise it more at the 189 rather than 229. Okay? Because remember, it's always it's important, guys, that we don't want to lose deals. So we want to make sure we offer fair offers, but we also don't want to lose our money. And it's better to let a deal go than to overappraise. But the best thing is to be as accurate as possible. All right. Let's see. Joe Bonilla is saying HP Pavilion 15 laptop. So Joe, I'm going to need more specs than that, I think, right? Because I think there's a lot of models HP Pavilion. So when you guys are appraising laptops, let's take a look. HP Pavilion 15. So let's say a customer says this on the phone. HP Pavilion 15, right? I'm going to say, does it have a model number? Is there any specs to that? Do you know the gigabytes? I need, like right here, see this 15-N211DX? This is going to help me figure out what that exact laptop is. But see, there's a billion different HP laptops. So I don't know if it's one of these nice ones like this one. And I don't know if it's like a cheapy one like this one. So you really want to try to get the model number with the laptop so you guys can appraise it. Okay. So I would always ask the customer, hey, do you know the model number of that? And it's usually at like the bottom of the computer. Okay. So Joe says it's a CC060WM. I'm not sure if that's the model number, but let's take a look. This is how you can find out. So we'll type that in, type the model number. Okay, it looks like it is. It's a 15-CC060WM. Boom, there it is. We found it. So good job, Joe. So you see, guys, now that we have the model number, look at how much that clarifies our appraisals. Because now we see 400. We have 327, 346. Now, notice I'm skipping. This is really important for you guys that are new. Notice I skipped over brand new. We don't want to praise that. We don't want to praise the refurbished. We want to praise pre-owned, pre-owned, pre-owned. We always want apples to apples, right? So what would you guys appraise this based on what you see here? You see 346 with $26 shipping, 327 with free shipping, and 400 free shipping. What would you guys offer on that? And what do you think it's going to sell for on eBay? Say, oh, Feldon asked, what about a custom built PC? How do we appraise that? Oof, that's a little bit more advanced. You know, if it's a custom built PC, you just really need the specs, and you just kind of Feldon, honestly, you just kind of lowball them on that one and hope to see what you can get. Those are one of those you're not going to get any comparables for, so you just kind of you just offer a lowball on that, you know, because you can't really appraise it. And when you can't really appraise something, you got to always just go really low. But this one, we've got a solid appraisal because look, we've got 3 comparables. We got 1, 2, 3. That's a good spot to be in. Sam says sell it for 350, buy for 100. Luke Nguyen says 190. Jay Ryan says 100, 150. Joe says 200 to 350. Ooh, guys, these are big ranges. You got to try to stick to a range. I mean, you got to stick to one price because you can't offer them a range. You can't say, well, I'll pay you between 100 to 150 on that. You got to give them one number, right? So what's your number? You can't give me a range. Give me your number. Kevin says sell for 340. Trish says buy for 150, sell for 350. Okay, so see, I see a lot of issues right here with the appraisals where this could be off, right? Yuri says still loves the low ball. Thanks, Dave. Awesome. So if you paid, let's say, 200 for this, that's probably about right. I would say I would start my offer on this at 160, and I would probably go to 200 to maybe 210 max on this. And I'll tell you why, because what scares me is that this one sold for only 327 and this one sold for 346. And we want to rotate our stuff quick, right, guys? You got to remember, this is a laptop. It's going to cost $10 to ship. So we need to factor that into our profit margins. So even if it sells for 350, remember that's 35 to eBay, 10%, right? which brings us down to $315, another $10 or $15 to ship it. We're only at $300. So if we offer like $230, we're only going to make maybe a $60 profit on a really expensive item. So it's probably better if you can go to 200. I mean, you can go up to maybe 220. I would say maybe 220. Maybe if it's like you're desperate and it's a slow day, you could do 230, but I would really try to stick to around the 180 to 200 range on that. Okay. So that'll be it for the appraisals for you guys today. Who's finding this helpful so far? You guys, is this, are you enjoying this so far? Or Sam says, great. Luke says, yes. Joe says, great. It's good stuff. All right. Let's get back to the negotiating now, because it's the fun part, right? You guys are saying very good to know I'm in range. And if you're not in the appraisals, guys, just keep watching the appraisal videos and you get better and better with time and practice. But it's important to know that it might not be because what you're saying, like you can follow the script, you can follow everything we say. And if you're not getting a lot of deals, it could be because of an appraisal offer, not because of what you're saying, okay? So it's important to know these things first. Then we're going to go over the actual words to overcome the objections as well. All right. So response time. Okay, let's talk about response time. How fast are you guys getting back to your leads? I find if you don't get back to a lead, if you get back to them within a minute, you've got a very good chance of closing them. Now, that's not realistic though, right? We can't always get back to every lead within a minute. But if you can, you're going to close more deals. But if you can get to them at least within an hour, you'll probably still close 80% of your leads. Not 80% of your leads, but 80% of the leads that you have the capability to close at this time. Once an hour goes by, you have about a 30% chance of closing them, pretty much. It's a lot less once the response time goes down. Now, don't get me wrong. We have closed a lot of deals, later on, and sometimes there's nothing you can do if you're at work and you have to do these. You do what you got to do, right? To work around your schedule. You don't just quit flipping phones because you can't respond to them within an hour. But that's the optimal, okay? So you want to try to get to that. That's kind of the goal, is try to respond to people as fast as possible, okay? And, it doesn't mean you have to meet them right away. So anybody ever get a lead like at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, and they're like, hey, yo, man, can you meet me right now? I got a phone to sell, right? And, we don't really want to meet people at night because it's kind of sketchy. And, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really like meeting people in a parking lot when it's dark and stuff like that. So I'd always reschedule it for the next day. And my hours were usually 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the day. So if it was, if they messaged me late at night, I would say, hey, I really love to do it, but unfortunately, my hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., but I can meet you early in the morning tomorrow at 10 a.m. and be there. Would that work for you? And then I try to get the people, so I respond and close the deal, because once the deal's solid, right? Has anybody ever made a decision for plans with friends, and once you decided, you just decided, and then you get that one friend who's like, hey, what if we do this instead? You're like, shut up, dude. We already made the plans. They're done. Don't change our minds. Anybody been like that? Once you close a deal, that's how people feel. It's like, okay, the deal's done. Oh, good. I'm not calling anybody else. Fine. But you just got to lock that deal and commit them. It doesn't mean you actually have to meet them. Okay? Sam says, but what about responding during your business hours? You can choose to do that too. Just know that you're probably not going to close a lot of leads at night, right? So don't be surprised if at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, if you're not answering them until the next day, you're not closing a lot of those messages because maybe you're not responding them. And that's okay too. We're getting more leads than we can handle. We lose 15 messages a day right now. And we're not even going full force. We get so many leads that we probably lose 15 to 20 messages we can't respond to in a day. I think it's even more than that. But, we do what we can. We can try to respond to them as fast as possible. And the leads that message us late at night, it is what it is. And we just try to get back to them. And on the slow days, those are good to follow up, If you guys notice, it comes in waves, like Sunday, we only bought 7 phones. Yesterday, we bought 25 phones. That's a big difference. So on Sunday, it was slow. I called all my employees up. I'm like, guys, we bought 7 phones today. We got to ramp this up. Can you guys respond to every one of these messages that we got and see if you can close some deals? They did that. And then the next day we got 25 phones. So see, these messages that we don't respond to or lose, they're good as, slow day fodder, to kind of pick up the slack. And that's how you do that. Okay. So I'm going pretty fast here. Is everybody following me? Is this good? Helpful? Sam says yes. And again, guys, please stay engaged with this. If it's not helpful, let me know. If it is, that's great. Give me some feedback, participate. The more you guys communicate with me here and stay involved, and you're not watching, Game of Thrones or Walking Dead replay or something during this group chat, the better you guys are going to do, right? So stay engaged with me. Keep with me. I'm keeping my energy up here to help you guys make as much money as possible. Okay, next one. constant control and leading to the close. All right. So this is another important one. Okay. Again, you guys notice this is nothing we have to say, right? It's all situations that's going to bring up objections that are unnecessary, right? So constant control is this. Here's the difference between responding to a lead this way. So I could give you 150 on it. Is that cool? Or responding to a lead this way. I can give you 150. What's the difference between the first one and the second one? I can give you 150. Is that cool? Or I can give you 150. Leading to the close, right? The first one is leading them to the close. It's controlling the conversation. It's keeping the person involved. It's engaging them, and it's asking for a response, right? But if we just say, I can give you 150, it leaves it open to the person not responding. You'll find if you don't ask a question at the end of each message that you all of a sudden will stop getting responses as much, right? There's some kind of compelling thing. Anybody ever send you a text with a question and you like have to answer it? There's like this calling and it like drives you nuts until you answer that question. It's going to drive you crazy, right? Well, guess what? It works to close deals too. So this is why it's very important as we go through these our messages, we're continuing to stay in constant control and lead that customer to the close with every single response. We don't want to leave one response without a follow-up and a controlling question at the end, right? So for example, if they're like, well, 150, I wanted at least 250 for mine. Then okay, cool. Have you tried selling it yourself yet? Remember, I'm following up with a question, right? Not like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a reseller. I can't, 150 is the best I can do. Stop, no question. That's going to lead us to a bad response. That might lead us to no response or a bad response. Remember, constant control leading to the close, right? We want to follow up with, so, have you tried selling yourself yet? They might say, well, no, I haven't. Now, I've seen other members just respond like, okay. If I just respond, okay, there, is that leading to the close? No, right? So if you say, have you tried selling yourself? That they say no, okay, say, well, if you would like to save yourself the hassle of selling yourself, I have the 150 I can give you cash today. Would you like to try selling yourself, or would you like to make it an easy, fast sale and have me give you the cash? See that? Again, leading to the close. Right? And now some guys get afraid of this. I say, like, have you tried selling it yourself? And they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Can we control that? Right? Can we control if they're going to sell it themselves? And guys, not for anything, but if they called us, do you think they're going to sell it themselves if they called us to sell us a phone for cash? Why do they call us if they were going to do it? No, they're probably not going to. I mean, maybe 1 out of 10 people really will. But why did they call us, guys? Because they don't want to sell it themselves. They don't know eBay. They've never been on eBay. They don't know how to use Craigslist, or they're scared to meet people, or they're just a super busy person. They don't want to waste their time. I mean, I'll tell you what, I know the price of Magic cards. A couple of my Magic card decks are worth $3,000, right? For these stupid cardboard cards. I play this game called Magic the Gathering. It's a collectible card game, right? And some of my cards, I have cards that are worth $100, $300. And then I go to these big tournaments with my friend. You guys probably see me post on my social media. Sometimes I travel, around the country, and sometimes I play in these big tournaments. Well, they have these buyers just like us that are at these events, right? And they give you like 50 cents on the dollar for these cards. And I'll trade in a $100 card and I'll get only 50 bucks back. You know why? Because I'm not in the business of selling Magic cards anymore. I'm in the business of selling phones. And my business operation is not set up to sell those Magic cards. To be perfectly honest, the amount of money I lose from them giving me fast cash is probably better than me paying someone to list the thing for me, because I'm not going to go do it. I'm too busy running my company, right? So I just give it to them. So, we just have to understand that these are the reasons why people call us. So, don't be afraid to say, have you tried selling themselves? Because we're reminding them all this stuff in the first place. If I say to that guy, oh, wow, these things are selling for $100 on eBay. And the guy says to me, well, you can sell it on eBay if you want then, and if you want, we'll be happy to give you some money, and we'll give you 25% extra on your trade if you want to do it right now. And here I am playing Magic with my friend. I just want to get it over with. And he's like, I'll give you 25% more on the trade. I'm like, okay, here you go. And I am a professional eBay seller. I've sold $2 million on eBay, and I still don't want to sell the damn thing myself, right? So don't be afraid of that stuff, guys. Someone's saying don't mention eBay. I disagree with that. That's just what works for me. But, you know, it's again, it's how you say it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Someone says, let them know I'm a reseller, and that's it. So you can, I mean, I've closed a lot of deals. The other way, it all depends, again, what works for you. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? So some people here, it works for them, and some people, this would work. You guys can choose whatever you'd like to say. I'm just giving you guys some solutions for these objections, right? Everybody has their own type of responses that works and what you're comfortable with, okay? So that's why I want to give you guys these principles so you can figure out what works best for you. Or you can just copy that objection rebuttal script I have and copy and paste if you just want a cookie cutter thing. Who here, by the way, is using the objection rebuttal script in the course? And please, guys, this is the time to be honest with me right now. So, because if not, I want to show it to you so we can get you in there. Someone says, yeah, no, yes, yes, yes. Okay, it's in the document sections. If you're not using the objection rebuttal script, guys, please do and watch the training video on it because it will show you and help you how to close with that, okay? My own employees are using that. I train them with that objection rebuttal script. Okay. Sam says 3 people said no, by the way. I'm not sure what that means. All right, let's keep going. So gathering data to find a solution. Let's work on this, all right? So, you know, let's say the person says to you, okay, let's say this situation. Everybody ever had this? Who's had them sell like an iPhone 6 and you can offer them like $10? Let's say it's a cracked iPhone 6. It's going to sell for like $60 or something. Has anybody ever gotten an offer like that? Say yes, yes, me. Be honest with me. If you haven't yet, guys, say no. If you're brand new, say you haven't even got any calls yet. Let me know. Give me some feedback. I say no, yes, 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 yes. So people saying yes, lots of them. Okay, right? So let's say the person messages you. They're like, I have an iPhone 6. And you're like, okay, great. I can give you $10 for that. And that person says, oh, man, no, that's okay. I'm all set, right? And then I want to gather data. I want to ask questions and lead to the close. So I say, so how much were you looking to get? And they're like, well, like $10 is okay, but I really don't, it's not even worth wasting my time to, you know, to go there because it's only $10. Now, if you guys might think that's negative to hear that, but if they tell us that, what is that? It's data. If they say, I don't want to go to you because it's not worth $10, it's data that we now have. Now we have something to work with because when we can fulfill a need and solve a problem for a customer, right? We can make a deal, okay? And that's what professional salespeople are: problem solvers and deal makers. They're not pushy. They're not used car salesmen. They're not aggressive. They're just puzzle piece finders, problem solvers, and solution seekers. So she says, well, you know, it's not worth the gas for me. Okay, well, okay, I totally understand that. I can see where you're coming from. Do you have anything else to sell? Because I buy all kinds of electronics. I buy laptops, MacBooks, tablets, cameras. Would you want to sell anything else? Well, I do have a MacBook I'd like to sell. Okay, fantastic. What do you have? Give her appraisal on that. And who knows, if I can find out, let's say she's got a MacBook that I can give her even an extra $30 on. Maybe it's even a junky MacBook. Maybe it's like a MacBook Air with no power or something, and I could get maybe $150 for it. If I could just put an extra $30 in her pocket, do you think for $40 a lot of people would drive to you? Not everybody, but probably 70%, right? Maybe. It sure as hell gives us a chance, okay? Now, guys, this is what I want to talk about here because, first of all, give me, so far, who's found this chat helpful? Like, is this what you needed? Did you need to hear this? Did you learn something you didn't know? Well, is this beneficial to hear this? Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Yes, so far, so good. Yes, keep it up. Okay, good. All right. So now that we hear this, I see a lot of, like, you know, comments in the Facebook group sometimes and employees, and then they focus on a lot of the negative stuff that people say. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up that negative stuff for a second, and I want to show you how we can work around it because there's certain things we can't do anything about, right? So let's say someone offers you, like, hey man, my mom actually is starting to flip phones, and she said, Dave, I got a call today. She might actually be on this chat right now. I don't know. But she says, I got a call today, and the guy said, I found this phone when I was walking. Oh, she says, yes, I am. There's my mom's right there. She said, the guy said, I found this phone, and it's got a password on it. I don't know what to do with it. And I said, Mom, you know, the problem might be is you just got to post more ads and get more leads, right? Everybody's saying, hi, Mom. Everybody says I didn't make her pay for the course. No, I'm helping my mom out. Didn't make her pay for the course. Teaching her free of charge. Teaching her free of charge. But there's nothing we could do with that, right? If the phone is lost or stolen, I typically don't buy those. We're not, as a licensed shop for us, it's illegal for us to buy something when they tell us they found it or they stole it. If they literally tell us that, then we can't buy it. Now, if a phone's reported lost or stolen, that's different. We could buy that because there's no guarantee. It could be all kinds of technical problems, whatever. But if they literally say, hey, I found this phone or I stole it, we legally can't buy it. So there's nothing we can do on that, right? There's nothing we can do if GameStop is going to offer $200 for the phone and the max you can pay is $150, right? Someone says because she's your mom, you had to pick. No. Anyways, there's nothing we could do on that, right? There's nothing we could do if the phone has no value. If the phone has no value and it's only selling for $10, there's nothing we can do, right? So you might say, well, Dave, why are you telling me all this negative stuff? I thought you said you're going to help me overcome objections. Okay. Well, I'm telling you this, guys, because we don't want to focus on those deals. So if you're only getting some of those deals, what does that tell me? If you're getting a lot of these people that saying, I stole the phone, it's iCloud locked, what does that mean you might need to do more of? Can anybody guess? What do you think is the solution for that? Someone says change up the ad. Yep. Better ads, post more ads. Yes. Advertise. The ads could be attracting some stuff, but it depends. Like, for example, did you know that the people who put no iCloud lock and no stolen phones in their ads typically tend to attract more of that? That's what I found when I tested that. When I used to put in my ads, no iCloud, no stolen phones, I ended up getting more of them instead of less. Now you can, and it's the same thing if you say, I only buy these certain phones. I don't like ads that do that. Personally, I try to buy as many phones as we can because it's kind of like you get what you focus on. So if you focus on, that's all you're getting is stolen phones or phones from GameStop and you keep focusing on that, that tends to be like all you tend to pick up because we overlook all the people that were closable, but we tend to ignore them, right? Because like, let's say you offered them 150 and maybe your just appraisal's off. They said no and they stopped responding. We want to focus on those people. We don't want to focus on the things we can't control. Now, can we do things about this? Well, it's a lost or stolen phone. Here's some things we can do for the stuff that we can't do anything about. Guy says, I found this phone. You could be really respectful and say, hey, I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, we don't buy any items that were lost or stolen, but we do buy lots of electronics. Do you have anything else for sale? Oh, I do have a laptop. Okay. Fantastic, right? Does that make sense, guys? If they say, GameStop, offer me more for this item, that's a tough one because if GameStop literally is going to pay them and they're offering cash, there's not much we can do, right? And guys, let's try to keep the focus. I see some sideline conversations going on here. Let's try to keep the focus on what we're doing on the objections, and everybody stay with me, all right, guys? Because the more we focus, the more we can help each other out. Because the sidelines, they distract me too as I'm doing the group chat here. All right, so if they're under 18, here's another thing we can do, right? If they're under 18, we can ask them to bring a parent or a guardian. Who's done that and close the deal? We've done that plenty of times. If they're under 18, I could say, do you mind, do you have a parent or anything? Unfortunately, we can't buy it if you're under 18, but can you bring a parent or a guardian with you? Okay, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, see if you can get a friend, cousin, brother, or something like that and bring them down. We can buy it if we can do that. Let's focus on the positive, what we can do about it, right? If they have a phone and it's iCloud lock, unfortunately, I don't buy iCloud lock, but I buy other electronics, laptops, cameras, MacBooks, tablets, right? Someone says, is that illegal? Yes, in most states, it's illegal to buy from someone under 18 because they can't sign a legal contract. So they could sell you a stolen item with no recourse, right? So I would avoid that. Yep. Joe says, whoa. Yeah. Yep. It says, okay, didn't know that. Yeah, be careful with that. I know we're not allowed at my store. It's against the law and against our license to buy from anybody under 18. We get in trouble. It's actually a misdemeanor charge if they find out we did that. So anyways, okay. Don't worry if you did it and you made mistakes. It's, you're probably not going to get in big trouble. Just try to avoid that in the future. All right. So let's continue on. All right. So again, the stuff we can't control, but let's focus on the things we can control, right? Because let's face it, guys, we do get a lot of leads where someone maybe just didn't respond back. Maybe we didn't give them the right offer. Maybe we didn't handle a lead properly. These are what we want to improve on. We don't want to focus on the things we can't control. We want to focus on the things we can control and get better at the leads that are closable, right? So my mentality is anybody who's closable, I want to close them. That means as long as it's a phone I can buy, it's not iCloud locked, they're of legal age to sell it, I'm buying that phone. I'm going to do everything I can to persuade, use my power, use my solutions to find a deal, make a deal, do whatever I can to make something happen with those people, okay? This mentality, guys, will help you close more deals, because how many people have ever messaged back and a lead didn't respond? What do you guys do in that? Yuri says, are we texting now? I like over the phone better. We're doing both. We handle at our stores over the phone calls, but we're getting about 25 messages a day through Facebook ads. If you guys want to see, I'll show you how many messages we get. It's insane. So like I said, we're getting more leads than we can handle. So we are responding through messages. Each person at my stores now is responding through Facebook messages. We created three pages for our Facebook ads for the messages, and they're responding back to those plus the phone calls. I mean, we're getting bombarded with stuff. We're firing on all cylinders. We're posting. All my employers are posting on LetGo. They're all posting on OfferUp. They're all posting Craigslist ads. They're all posting in Facebook groups, and we're doing paid Facebook ads. So this is why we get massive results, right? Because we're doing everything, and I've been working with them on all the stuff I'm showing you guys right now. I've been personally training them and working with them. So that's why, you know, our sales just keep going up, up, and up, and up, right? So anyways, someone says, have you used bandit signs? I know some people who have used bandit signs and they've been good, but if you're not doing the basics really well, then I wouldn't focus on the bandit signs, right? Like, guys, try not to. I see a lot of people trying to get phones, like maybe through shipment and do all this stuff. If you're not doing at least 20,000 a month, you don't want to be thinking of any outside the box ideas yet, right? Because there's plenty of people that have gotten the course and just done what the course says and done 20,000 a month, sticking to the basics. So really, guys, try to focus on the basics. A bandit sign is one of those cash for phone signs that are up on the telephone pole, right? Sam says Aaron is the perfect example. Yes, Aaron is the perfect example. He doesn't do anything. He just sticks to everything in the course, everything he tells you guys to do. He sticks to the basics, and he does a lot. You know, Aaron did 65,000 last month. So if you guys stick to the basics, you're going to get those type of you're going to get better results. If you're new, I hope this is for anybody who's new. Did you guys find this too advanced, or is this helpful for the new people? Am I going over your head with any of this stuff? Am I overwhelming you, or are you finding this like it making sense to you? Okay, I want to make sure that you guys are getting good value or understanding. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Joe says perfect. Kevin says no. Trish says no, it's good. Sarah says it's helpful. Felon says great. Luke Nguyen says perfect sense. Eric says helpful. Yes. Sharon, very good. That's my mom. Joe says yes. Okay, great. Excellent. Donnie says, great. Sam says, when are you not new anymore? Well, you know, probably 2 months. But, you know, if you haven't watched the course videos yet, you know, I've seen people buy my course in 6 months. They haven't done anything. And then they, you know, they just decide they want to start taking action. So if that's you, that, you know, you can consider yourself new, and that's cool too. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let's go through a few of these. And we're running out of time, but I think a lot of the stuff I've given you guys should help you a lot in your negotiations already. But if a person wants more than their phone is worth, right? Let's say, well, I'm going to be honest. If you guys just use the objection rebuttal script and you watch the training video I got, it breaks down these objections exactly. I'll go through them quickly right now. But does everybody know where that video is in the course, by the way? Jeff says, this is meat and potatoes. We could do this every week. I might just do stuff like this every week, because it seems like doing the basics just really helps get a lot more people to 10,000 a month. Sam says, I'll stay all night long to learn more. All right. Chris says, I used the rebuttal sheet, 24,000 in sales this month. Boom. Awesome job, Chris. That's fantastic. Sweet. If you don't know where it is, post in the group. I'll give you guys the link to the objection rebuttal script if you haven't had it yet. Okay. Someone says, good stuff. Jesus says, what's the rebuttal sheet? It gives you all the objections it gives you the responses. It's a cut and paste text script that you can just, like, for every objection you get, you give them the response. And the training video shows when they say this, you post this. It's a training with the script. Okay. But Sharon says, we're in the course. Hold on one second, guys, and I'll show you. Let me pull it up really quick. Give me 1 second. We got to log in. Okay. So right here, common objection, but it's under important documents for course guys right here. Common objections or rebuttal script. Just download it. You click on it, download, boom, it's right there, guys. Okay. And then you can also, there's a video right at the top. You're going to want to watch this video right here. Watch this video training on how to use these common responses. So see, seller responds with an angry no to your offer, right? Example, hell no. Always respond nicely to the seller, regardless of how rude their response was, and try to find out where they are at. I totally understand. How much were you looking to get, right? So you can just go ahead, copy this, and just paste it. What you do is a lot of the members will download this document, put it right on their phone. They'll open the Word document, and they'll copy and paste it right out of the Word document into their text messages. And they overcome the objections like this, right? Seller tells you they want way too much for the phone. Example, I want $300 for my phone. Nicely ignore the price they want and offer them a low price regardless. Good responses. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do 300, but I could give you 100 and give you cash today. Would that work for you? So this takes all the guesswork right out of it for you guys that are brand new. It's, you know, once you've mastered the script, then you can start using some more of the psychology tips I teach to kind of form your own and what works for you. But right now, when you're brand new, a cookie cutter response will give you a good, solid closing average without even knowing how to close really yourself. Okay. Now, why do I say the there? Let's break that down for 1 second. Jeff says, I think I jumped the gun. Okay. So I see a lot of people weren't using this right here, and this is definitely helpful for you guys. Let's see. Someone says gold nuggets. I need cookie cutter responses. Yes, absolutely. So guys, why do I say Does anybody know why I say this? And then, now I've had my employees actually have tried doing this, and they skipped the and I said, wait a minute, you skipped the and they're like, well, why do I need to say that? And I said, because it's sometimes not saying something is more powerful than saying something. Okay, sometimes not saying something is more powerful than saying a lot. For example, right? Let's say, you know, I'm going to just share my screen so you can see the look on my face for a second, right? Let's say someone walks up to you and you're in a bar and they're like, you know something, man, I really don't like you. I think you're a real jerk. Or they say something maybe really rude to you. And you look at them and you're like, and you're just kind of looking at the guy next to you and you're like, okay, right? How does it make that guy feel? Right? Now I can engage that guy. I could be like, well, why do you think I'm a jerk? Why do you think I'm a jerk? No, I'm not a jerk. You're a jerk. Don't call me a jerk. But see, which response do you think is more effective, guys? Not saying anything and just kind of look at him like, okay, I'm a jerk. Right? Which is more effective, that or arguing or engaging that person? Not saying anything, right? So same thing in negotiations. When someone angry, someone, you know, you are a low baller, people like you know, make me sick. And you say, and wait a minute. Now this is stressful at first. For you guys that are brand new, this may feel very weird to do this, right? Because, you know, you might be used to reacting to angry people. You might feel like angry people, you know, need to be put in their place, right? But remember, we attract what we focus on and what we give attention to. And we give attention to angry people, guess what we get? More anger, right? And we don't want more anger, right? So we just don't give it attention. We say, and you lay off for a minute. And then the person says, and then you say, I totally understand. How much were you looking to get? Now, see, just that subtle thing, and then waiting a minute. See, here's the key. It's important to wait, right? Because so many people want to respond instantly in a negotiation, okay? They want to respond right away. Someone gives them an objection, they want to fire back. It's okay to slow it down in negotiation. Slow it down, guys, because when you rush, first of all, when we do things fast, what do you think happens when we're trying to rush a negotiation? What does that give the impression of? We can mess up. We could rush. We can make appraisal mistakes because, like, oh, I got to get the appraisal fast. I got to do this. I got to do this. We can make mistakes. We look desperate, right? We look desperate. We look like kind of rude or needy, pushy, right? But if we just kind of lay off and we're like, you know, they're like, man, you know, people like you make me sick making those offers. And then I just don't respond back for a minute. And then I say, and I give them another minute. So let them cool off for a little bit. You guys got to remember, right? These people, they're selling items. This could be their last thing they have that's worth the value, right? And I don't know about you guys. You ever been in a bad situation? You ever had a bad day? You ever felt bad? You ever yell at somebody you really liked or you cared about and you didn't really want to yell at them? You know, and you really regretted it afterwards, right? And they looked at you like, wow, you just yelled at me. And then you felt like such a jerk after, like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm just having a bad day. You know, I didn't mean it. This is exactly how we want to treat the customers when they do get mad. We don't want to get angry at them because it's just encouraging their behavior. We want to take them down, relax them, slow it down, step back for a little bit, go respond to a couple more leads, and then maybe follow up and come back to them. We don't need to try to close them when we're like that. We've got to diffuse all that emotion first. Would you guys agree? If there's anger in a negotiation, we're probably not going to come to an agreement. How many people here have agreed with someone when you're fighting with someone, right? Has anybody ever been like totally right about something and you know it, and you told someone how right you were? How well did that work for you? Probably not very good, right? You're like, I know I'm right. I know you're wrong. You need to agree with me. Probably not effective, is it? Right? They probably didn't love you after that conversation. And they probably weren't like, you know what, man? You are right. You are right. Fine. I'm going to do it. No, they probably just out of pride wanted to fight you. Have you ever had somebody tell you to not agree with you, even when they knew you were right, and they just fought back to you just because they thought you were a jerk or they didn't want to feel like you beat them, right? That's how people are. We all have egos, Muhammad says. Absolutely. The human ego is a real thing, guys. And when Feldman says, Dave, my leads are hearing you. My Facebook message is blowing up right now. Awesome. I'd love to see this. I hope this is helping you guys. You guys are all going to blow up. I want everybody here closing deals, being calm, being like a rock solid, emotionally strong rock when you guys get to these people. They react angry to you, you put a smile on your face and you just calmly, you guys are the rock. You're the business person. Okay. Right. You know, I have to tell you, I was at a really expensive bar the other day. Took my employees out. It's like in the cities, like rooftop place, has like fire pits all around, VIP section. I mean, it's probably the fanciest place in the area. You can see all the buildings and stuff like that. And we're having a management meeting. I'm teaching these guys, right? And we got big goals for this month, and I'm trying to help them. And the manager comes over and he says, hey, we're going to have to ask you guys to leave. And I said, what's going on? He says, your friend here is wearing boots. I said, well, we're just sitting here by the fire. I said, you know, I'm really, you know, if you don't mind, I'm a really successful business person. These guys are my managers here. We're having a business discussion. Do you mind if we finish our drinks first and I continue this meeting for a little bit and then we can leave? He said, nope, got to leave right now. So I was a little upset about that, okay? Because I felt like, one, I spent a lot of money. One, I have a lot of influence in the community in this area. Three, I'm a business owner. I didn't feel like that was the best customer service, how they just kind of dismissed me when I did that. So I asked to speak to a manager. So the manager came over, and one of the other people we were hanging out with, he didn't handle it very well, right? He was like, hey, you know, we came up here from Baltimore. These guys just kicked us out. We don't really think this is customer service. So he kind of like attacked the manager. So the manager, though, I got to give him a lot of credit. He said, look, you know, first off, I want to say I appreciate your business, guys. And the problem was that the gentleman is wearing boots. And I said, look, I understand. I know what it's like as a business person. But from business person to business person, I felt like these guys aren't harming anybody. They were dressed decent. They did have boots on, but they were nice looking boots. We're sitting here just having drinks. We're on the fire pit. It's early. It's only 9:30 at night. We're not really bothering anybody. And, you know, we're having a management meeting. This was really important for my business here. And the guy said, look, I totally understand. He's like, it is what it is. It's a matter of security. And he's like, I understand. These guys probably should have handled that better. He's like, you know, I tell you what, why don't I do this? Let me buy you guys a round of drinks. And you guys can hang out at the bar downstairs. We got a pool table there. It's a lot of stuff going on. Is that cool? And he was completely in emotional control, even though the person I was with kind of attacked him. And my employees were like, we're going to leave bad reviews. And I was like, no. Let's calm this down. Let's talk to him and see what happens. But the guy responded really nice. And now, right, one, he saved himself a lot of bad reviews. But two, he's going to get repeat business from me. We're going to come back next time. They're not going to wear boots, that's for sure. He's probably going to get more business from me in the future because of how professionally he handled that. Okay. Now, this is not phone flipping, guys, but it's business, right? So can everybody see how we can apply this to our lives with these leads and how we can handle these upset customers when they're upset? You guys see how reacting, like by killing people with kindness and reacting professionally, we're going to win a whole lot more people over and we're going to close a lot more deals that way. Sam says, tell the guy cussed you out and slammed the door. You made the sale the next day story. That's a phone flipping story. Well, you guys have probably heard that one a whole lot of times, but someone says, key, I ran a media department for a mortuary. Okay, so let me know, guys, how would you guys rate this group chat so far based on what I showed you guys? This was some stuff from the objection and rebuttal script there. And again, please download that objection and rebuttal script and watch the training video. You guys say, great, love it, 5 stars, awesome, 10 out of 10, 10, thanks, Dave. Someone says, Dave, this chat reminded me a lot of the basics. Awesome. You know, guys, this whole business is all basics, right? But the basics, the people who do the basics really well are the ones that win in life, right? Like you look at champion Olympians, champion bodybuilders, they just do the basics really, really well. They eat clean, they work out. They're not trying fad diets. They're not trying to beat the system. They're not trying to do, I mean, some people take drugs and stuff like that, but then they pay the price for that, right? They pay the price. The people who stick to the basics win. So let's stick to the basics. The basics are learn, watch the course videos, get involved, ask smart questions, post lots of ads. Three key things to get to 10,000 a month, guys, right? We have it. Over 87 of my students have done over 10,000 a month. 3 things for master: appraisals, negotiation, and posting lots of ads. You get those things down, guys, you're going to be doing 10,000 a month. And you know, it might take you a month or two. It might take you 3 months, right? I don't know a business out there you can do 10,000 a month in 3 or 4 months with very little capital. This is an awesome business to be in, guys. I said this on a live video the other day. I hope I'm not repeating myself too much, but again, get excited about it, right? Ask questions, get fired up, and just keep working on those things. Keep working on your appraisals, the negotiations. And is there any final questions you guys have for me? And by the way, thank you for all the kind words, guys. You said, oh, you know, things are great. You guys enjoy this. I had a lot of fun here. If you can't tell, I'm very fired up. I'm back in action. I'm ready to get you guys doing the biggest numbers we can. I'm ready to do bigger numbers. I got a lot of big things in the works. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to do them and then show you guys later because that's kind of my new strategy. And I hope you guys go crush it. Jesus says, Dave, how can I respond to leads when I'm off at work at 7? You know, just go out there and go close deals after 7. Post a ton of ads and make the money you can. If you got 4 hours, make that the best 4 hours that you can make it. Close 2 deals a night if you can. 2 deals a night is $150 a night. That's $800 a week on the side, even if you only got $4 left. I mean, 4 hours left. Just do whatever you got to do to make it if you're in that position. And then if you make $800 a week, I tell you what, the job is going to be looking a whole lot less appealing in the future. And you're going to maybe even have more time, but you'll feel more confident. Do the best with what you got. Go make it happen. Jeff says, blew the appraisal portion. It was the iPad 3 mini I really struggled with. I thought I could get it tonight. Okay, we'll keep doing this stuff. If you guys like this, I'll keep focusing on the basics, keep doing the negotiation. So you guys, I'm going to let you go now because it's 9:15, but I wish you guys the best of luck. Keep staying active in the group. Keep working together with each other, and we'll see you guys next week.